edition of the Virtual Instructor-Led Training Program brought to you by the TechNet Academy. Don't forget to check us out on social media. You can find us on Twitter, Facebook, and you can find me on LinkedIn. This episode, we're going to discuss what to do when the price is too high. Look, we hear this all the time, right? I can't afford it. Does it really mean I can't afford it? What does it really mean? Let me translate for you. One thing that I can tell you that it really means is, I don't know if I really need this. Oftentimes when you hear I can't afford it, the customer may be having an education challenge. They may be having a problem with do they really understand why they need this? And instead of thinking, I don't know if I really need this, what comes out is, I can't afford it. The other thing that you'll run into, in terms of translating I can't afford it, is I don't know if I can trust you. And so I would suggest that you haven't gotten the customer to the level of trust that maybe you need to get them to. And it's more of a trust issue than it is an I can't afford it issue. And then of course there is the I don't know if I should spend the money. In other words, here's a value proposition challenge, right? They don't recognize that there's enough value in this to spend the money on it. And so they'll say to you, I can't afford it. And then the big one that I see on a regular basis to go right along with the other three is the I didn't expect this right now. You see, a lot of times it's a budgeting challenge. It's not a I can't afford this thing. It's a whoa, $1,800, I didn't expect to have to spend that right now. And their mindset wasn't where it needed to be to think, how am I going to get the money? Where can I get the money from? I see the value in it. I trust you guys. You've always done me right, but I don't know where to get the money. And so when you hear, I can't afford it, or the price is too high, your job is really to figure out, what does that really mean? You've got to translate that. Is it, I don't know if I trust you? Is it, I don't know if I really need to do this? Is it, I don't know if I should spend the money on this particular thing? Or is it, I didn't expect this right now? Now, of course, it could be, I just flat out don't have any money. And I get that. Because sometimes the price is too high, right? We've all been there. Sometimes a customer just cannot afford the repair. Life is dealt whatever life dealt to them, and they don't have the money. Sometimes, though, especially if you're hearing this way too often, or way more often than you want to, maybe you've attracted the wrong customer. Maybe you're trying to serve the wrong market. But look, no matter what it is, we've all been there, right? We've all found something too expensive, or we've all found something that I don't really know if I should spend the money on this. Think about what got you, the last time you did buy something that was too expensive, what got you to say, okay? Why did you buy that item that was too much, too expensive? I'll tell you when I did it, okay? It was Christmas. Family kept telling me, you realize we're the only one of our friends with a TV this small. I mean, to me it wasn't all that small, but they wanted a bigger TV. And so I budgeted a certain amount of money for a TV. And I walk into whatever store I'm buying this TV from, and I'm looking around, and sales guy comes over, and we start talking, he says, let me show you something. He says, I'm not even going to tell you about it. He says, I'm just going to show it to you. He walks me right over to a TV, and I went, whoa, look at that. Well, it was almost twice the amount of money that I had budgeted. It was $100 short of being twice what I had budgeted. But I'll tell you, after a lot of deliberation, guess what I came back to? I bought the TV that was too expensive because I could see the value in it. Because I could see, you know what, it's the latest and greatest, we're going to have it for a while, look at that picture, it fits, you know what, I see the value in it, I'm going to go ahead and do it. What was it for you? And what was it that kept you from buying something? Why did you think the price was too high? Was it one of those 4 things that I listed a minute ago? You didn't feel the value in it? You didn't budget for it? You didn't know enough about it to know whether you should buy that item or not? Or did you not trust the store that was selling that? Think about what it was for you. Your job at the service counter is to know when and how to help a customer, not just with the purchase process, but also how to afford it. I had a gentleman in class one day in the service counter selling skills class that raised his hand and he said to me, you know what I see my job as, Greg? I see my job as helping the customer afford the repair, or helping the customer afford the maintenance item. He says, it's my job to help them figure out how they're going to pay for it. Sometimes they don't know their options, so sometimes I just give them some options. You see, and I tried to stress this point too, selling can be as much psychology as it is sales process or selling or education or whatever word you want to attach to it. You see, we're playing a psychological game is what we're doing. And remember the buying process. I'm going to bring you back to that in this program. Right? It begins with need recognition or need determination. If you can't get a customer to that point where they see the need or they feel the need for it, you're not going to sell. The price is always going to be too high. You've got to be able to know when and how to help, and you've got to help customers find solutions. If you help them find solutions, you can win a fan. Because think about the anxiety that we talk about around automotive repair. Right? The customer brings you the automobile because the check engine light's on, or the coolant's leaking, or whatever. They need tires because the cords are sticking out of it. Whatever it may be. They've got a problem. And they've come to you to help solve the problem because they can't fix it themselves. But the fact that they have a problem and the fact that they can't fix it themselves creates all this anxiety. And then they show up at your facility and the anxiety goes even higher because, man, this is a weird world with weird noises and I don't have any idea what you're talking to me about. If you can help them find a solution that eliminates this anxiety, because the money contributes to anxiety too, doesn't it? If you can help them find that solution, you're going to win fans. You're going to get more customers to trust. Unfortunately, what I see out there in the real world is that a lot of shops just leave it to the customer to figure it out. And maybe part of that's my bad, because I'll say to you, remember, selling is just about putting information out there. It's not about selling out of your wallet or selling out of your pocketbook. It's put the information out there. Here's what it costs. You tell me what you want to do. And yet, you've got to still recognize that there is a level of anxiety out there. And customers, when it comes to money and how they can pay for stuff, they may not understand all their options. There are a lot of credit programs out there that shops are offering, but what I see is they're offering these things with various degrees of success. Some are highly successful, some are not very successful at all. And the industry as a whole doesn't do a great job with credit programs. There are shops out there that are pushing them all the time, and they're getting 20% of the customers qualified and accepting the offer. And then there are shops that, you know what, I never get anybody qualified, so I'm not even going to try it. But most of the time, these conversations about affordability of repairs are really short. And there's too many service advisors or front counter people that are willing to let a customer walk away and go, hey, you know what, it is what it is. You see, the customer feels the pain. They feel that auto repair is expensive, and it is. Let's face it, I don't like having my own automobile repaired because I know it's going to cost me a pile of money. And I'm in the industry, right? I get all this. I see all this. I understand why the labor is what the labor is. I understand why the part costs what the part costs. But I still feel it's expensive. And every time the customer comes into the repair shop, if you haven't managed the courtesy inspection process properly, and we're going to talk about that in a minute, if you haven't managed the courtesy inspection process properly, their perception of automotive repair being expensive may get reinforced. I show up for an oil change, it's, I'm expecting $79.99, whatever it may be, or $19.95, whatever you're getting, and next thing I know, you're handing me an estimate for $1,800, and I'm thinking, whoa, hey Charlie, what's going on here? And I feel blindsided with this big old repair bill. And that's the customer perception. You may not have that perception. You may see the invoices, it is what it is. I mean, this is what we need to get for labor because this is how much time it takes. Whether we're talking flat rate or not. I mean, there's a certain amount of time it's going to take. And we sell time. So this is what it is. And then, hey, you know what? This is what the part costs. This is, I couldn't get it from the aftermarket. I had to go to the dealer. Or I called 3 aftermarket parts distributors and it was all roughly the same price. This is what it is. And it's all true to you, but the customer's truth, the customer's perception is that, well, if this is expensive, I'm getting blindsided here, I'm getting hit over the head with this big invoice. I don't understand why it's 3 hours labor. I don't understand why it all there costs $450. I don't. And the anxiety goes up and up and up. You've got to understand and know and be comfortable with the tools that you have at your disposal, at the front counter, within your organization, to help break down some of that anxiety. Some of the tools that you have are just your own intuition. Some of you have enough experience now that you can read customers really, really well. And your charisma, your personality, your sales process, your selling skill is the tool that you use to help break down the anxieties and help customers feel educated enough that you know what, I'm going to find a way to afford this. Or trust you enough that, you know what, the price is an awful lot, but it is what it is. I trust you, man. It's just, it is what it is. And so a lot of those tools are what you do every day, and I'll make that point again in a second as well. But you've got to manage the process in the bigger picture to keep the price from getting too high. You see, that's your number one tool, is to keep the price from going too high, so the customer doesn't feel that. We'll talk about what to do when, hey, the price is flat out too much for the customer. And we'll talk about those tools, the credit program specifically, CarCare ONE Credit program offered through your TechNet membership. We'll talk about that. But keep this in mind, that your number one tool is the process management. It's the process management. My challenge to you is to manage the process so that you do keep things from getting too expensive. And then, look, when you can do nothing about it, and they are too expensive, the transmission goes south, the engine locks up, whatever it may be, now you've got to shift gears and you've got to think, how can I make it more affordable for the customer? Not how do I reduce the labor, or how do I cut down the part price, or go get it from somewhere else. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about reducing the actual price. I'm talking about making it affordable. I'm talking about making it less painful to pay for it. That's what you need to do, and that's my big challenge to you. Number one, keep it from getting expensive, and number two, when it does get expensive, figure out how to make it affordable. Ease that customer's pain. You want those customers feeling like they can always afford a repair. You don't want them standing at the counter thinking, oh, what am I going to do? I can't afford this. Because that anxiety they're feeling doesn't help your trust levels any. But if you step in there and let them know what their options are, and leave them feeling like they have options to get that car that's really, really important to them repaired, taken care of, so they can get to work, they can get to grandma's house, they can get to doing whatever it is they need to do in their life. That's what you want. Alright? So you want them feeling like they can always afford a repair, or if they can't afford a repair, you want them feeling like they have some options, and most importantly, they want to feel like you are offering them some options to help out. You're not just delivering bad news, but you're actually in their corner. The benefit of doing so is you'll actually get more sales. And over time, it'll become an easier sell. And those customers that are spending more money with you and they're becoming easier and easier to sell to, believe it or not, at the same time, you're going to grow your customer loyalty. You're going to grow your customer retention. So really take this challenge seriously and think about this with every single customer that's standing in front of you at that service counter. I'm going to talk to you about focusing on daily interactions in this segment, about breaking the repair down so that we make it more manageable and more affordable. I'll describe the credit program to you and see if we can't get you on it. I hear good things about it because it's been revised, so pay attention to that. And then there's all these unique circumstances that we can't cover them all, but I'm going to give you some examples that I want you to consider, because you've got to adapt to these things along the way. So really, 4 steps to making things more affordable. Step 1, focus on those individual daily interactions. And this is all the time with every customer. You see, not only does every sale count, of course, because all those sales add up, but business, the conducting of business every day is made up of all these little tiny small transactions. Every word that comes out of your mouth, every bit of body language, every invoice, every estimate, every phone call builds your business. And even the little sales, make more business. So if you take a big chunk and break it into little pieces, and you get customers coming back again and again and again, and get them used to you, you'll actually grow your business. And then, of course, and this gets pointed out to me in class all the time when I ask people, do you practice your sales process? And somebody will always say, sure do. Every single sale I practice it. Well, look, they're right. They're right. I mean, I don't want them practicing on every customer, mind you, but the point is they get better and better with every sale because each sale will make you better. So remember that your overall business, whether it's daily, weekly, monthly, your overall business is made up of all these hundreds of small, tiny transactions. And if you focus on them and be present for them, you're going to do really well. You see, to a customer, they feel like you're the only customer. Or, I'm sorry, they're the only customer you've had all day. The only customer that you've had all week, or all month, or in your entire career. But to you, it may just be another customer. And I tell the story in a lot of classes about, some of you may remember this, about walking into a shop, and you know, I always ask somebody, how's business? I ask the front counter folks, and I ask the technicians in the back, how's business? And what do they always say to me? Technicians go, it could be better. And the front counter folks go, you know, we're slammed. Well, one day I walk in, and the service advisor at the front counter looks at me and says, business would be great if it wasn't for all these customers. And what they meant was, it was just one customer after another coming through the door, and they were treating that next customer like the other customer, like the last customer, like the next customer they're going to have walk through the door. But to a customer, they're one person. They have no idea that you've dealt with 20 other customers that day, and they don't really care. You need to reinforce the fact with the customer that they are the only customer that you're dealing with today. And if you can make them feel like you are the only customer that they're dealing with, they're going to connect with you. They're going to connect with you. Keep that in mind. And look, remember that the more visits a customer has to your organization, the stronger the relationship that's going to get built. You don't want so many visits that it becomes inconvenient, because the inconvenience of auto repair is a huge anxiety creator in our industry, and so you don't want to inconvenience them, but at the same time you want as many customer visits as possible, because the more customer visits, the more touches you have with that customer, the more they get used to your organization, the more they build trust with you, they get used to the way you present things, you educate things, you do business, and the more comfortable they are with all of that, the more money they'll spend because their trust level is going up. So convenience is still important, but the more times you get them to visit, the more likely you're going to have higher levels of customer loyalty and customer retention. More visits can also keep the price from going too high. What? What are you talking about? Well, think about it. We can take the big chunk, the big $1,800 chunk, and we break it into little pieces. And instead of one $1,800 visit, maybe we get 3 $600 visits. So we've increased the number of visits, we've increased the number of opportunities to build trust with the customer, and we kept the price from getting too high. I like more visits also because the more visits you have, the more likely the shop will get into what I call a habit of being busy. You know, when technicians come to work and they've already got the mindset of, we're slow right now, in a bad time of year, then they will dilly-dally, they'll show up 10 minutes late, they'll clean their tools, they'll go have 2 cigarettes instead of 1, they'll have 4 cups of coffee instead of 3, and they don't get to work till 10 in the morning. But if they come to work with the idea in their head that, hey, we're busy today, then they tend to start showing up early, they tend to start getting more done, they tend to do better quality courtesy inspections, and they get in the habit of being busy, and then things just kind of click. All right, so there's a lot of benefits to creating more visits. I want you to remember that. I want you to keep that in mind. At the same time, you've got to think about, when I say is the price too high, is the problem really price? Right? It's those things that I got to in those first few slides. Is the problem value? Is it lack of education? Is it a budgeting issue? You've got to get behind the reason the price is too high. Now, remember, we did a program on selling to price shoppers. And if you're concerned about price shoppers, you're thinking right now, but Greg, the price is too high. Price shoppers, what about price shoppers? Because they just want the lowest price. go back and review the virtual program on the VILT tab of ServiceSalesAcademy.com. Okay? And it's titled, I believe, Selling to the Price Shopper. Go review that process. And go review what we said about that. This isn't about selling just to the price shopper, because you don't want to, I'm going to make the case here in a little bit that you don't want to sell on price. I want you to get behind, and I made this point in the price shopping program too, I want you to get behind what the real question is. You see, remember, customers don't know what you know. They don't know what is involved in any general repair or maintenance. They're not going to know why it takes 3 hours to do something, or even half an hour to do something. They don't know. The one thing they do know is to ask about price. The one thing they do know is to respond to price. But you can't just take that response at face value. You've got to get behind it. Is it really price? Or is there a value issue? Is there a trust issue? Is there an education issue? Is there a budgeting issue? And you may have to actually ask. So focus on those daily interactions and be thinking to yourself all the time as part of our first step to get there, what is behind what this customer is asking? Is it a price issue? Is it a value issue? Is it an education issue? Did we not do a good job with the courtesy inspection process? And that's what we're going to talk about next. So that we hit them over the head with a big bill. And the price really is too much. I want you to be thinking about these things with every single interaction. The more you do, the better you'll get at it. Now, step 2, break the repair down. You've got to remember, if you're going to get more visits, or you're going to keep the price from getting too high, you've really got to use your inspection process, whatever it is you call it. You know, if you want to call it courtesy inspection, if you want to call it safety inspection, if you want to call it whatever you call it, everybody calls it something different. And that's fine. But if you really want to get more visits, and you want to keep that price from getting too high, you've got to focus on your inspection process. It's the key. It's the key to selling, it's the key to growing relationships, it's the key to building trust. It informs the customers of what's coming, right? It's preemptive, it's proactive. Use whatever word you want to, but don't wait until it's too late. Because here's what happens. Here's what happens. You have a courtesy inspection. Some customers get it, some customers don't. I show up at the shop, I've got 5,000 miles on my car, it's the first oil change, I don't want the dealer doing it, I want you doing it. That car rolls into the bay, technician looks at that and goes, hey, well, there's nothing this thing's going to need, I'm just going to do the oil change and roll it. Maybe a tire rotate, ship it. And then the same thing happens at 10,000 miles. And the same thing happens again at 15 and at 20. And before you know it, we're out of the habit of doing courtesy inspections. I show up at 60, 70, 80,000 miles, and something clicks in a technician's mind, and they go, whoa, this baby's got some miles on it, I bet I can sell some stuff. And then you come walking out with that big estimate, that $600, $1,200, $1,800, $3,600, whatever it is. And I go, whoa, what the heck? Or something breaks down because I didn't keep up with the maintenance, because you didn't talk to me about maintenance. And something broke down. And now I'm going, this is all bad. Use your courtesy inspection process consistently. Every single visit. Every single visit. You want the customers feeling like repair isn't too expensive. And you can actually teach them to think that way if you use your courtesy inspection. Because if you use the program like the program was written, if you use it like it was intended, then the repairs are going to be minimal. And it's repairs that generally cause the big bill. Right? It's repairs that make the repair too expensive. If you use it well, repairs will be minimal. You'll also be able to spread out the cost of the maintenance. So you're reducing the repair expense and you're spreading out the maintenance costs. And if you explain this to the customer and you do so consistently, they'll be thankful. And they'll always say yes, because the repair won't be too expensive. The price won't be too much. Remember, when you're working with that courtesy inspection, the important thing to be ready to do, and I suggest you do this on every courtesy inspection you do, not just the ones where we have to break it down, but prioritize the inspection results. At the very least, be ready to prioritize them for the customer. Some of the best service advisors I know, they break it down. They break it down before they even present it to the customer. So that they already know that the first 4 items are going to be $600, and then these next 2 are going to be about $800, and then the last 3 that we can wait a little bit on, that's going to be another $250. And they've got it in their head, or they've got it written down, that this is the breakdown, so that they can present that to the customer if they feel like the customer is overwhelmed. Once you prioritize it, and of course we prioritize it safety first, right? Safety first, and then needed repairs. So the stuff that makes it dangerous, we'll take care of that first. And then the stuff that we need to fix for this thing to get proper fuel economy or to go down the road straight or whatever it may be, we're going to take care of that second. And then last, we're going to focus on maintenance so that we can avoid some of the safety stuff and avoid some of these needed repairs later on. And then you can add, whatever else is there, some of the nice stuff, fixing a cracked bezel or whatever it may be. You prioritize it: safety, needed repairs, maintenance. Once you've got it prioritized, now you're going to pre-schedule appointments. I had this conversation the other day in wherever my travels took me, and the comment that I made was, you would be shocked at how consistent we all are in our driving habits. And that even if we're not talking about courtesy inspections and pre-scheduling appointments because we've had to break it down, you can pre-schedule maintenance. You can pre-schedule oil changes. And you want to do that. This is really, really important. And I make the case in one of our instructor-led classes that pre-scheduling appointments is a tremendous tool. Because even if I've said no to you today, if you've come to me and said, Mr. Marchand, you need front pads and rotors, you've got about a half a millimeter left on that front pad, and you're going to go metal to metal really soon, you don't want to do that, it's going to cause more issues, it's going to be a safety issue, all this. And I go, you know what, I can't afford it. So then you have the conversation with me, okay, so let's see if we can't make it more affordable for you. Can we break this down a little bit and help you budget for it? When's your next payday? How much do you think you can set aside towards this? Can we schedule you, you can get a couple weeks on this based on your driving habits. Can we schedule you an appointment to have this done in 2 weeks? Can you have the money by then? And if you schedule the appointment, I am more likely, when I'm driving down the road and I've got the extra $800 in my pocket, I am far more likely to honor that appointment than I am to, hey, Joe's Garage is open, they look like they're not real busy today, I'll bet I can get in there and go somewhere else. You want to pre-schedule every possible appointment, even oil changes. Because oil changes customers see as, hey, you know what, they're pretty ubiquitous in the industry, we can go anywhere to get an oil change, and hey, there's a sign right there, they're doing oil changes today, and yeah, I'm due for an oil change, I'm going to go over there. But if I pre-schedule an appointment with you, I'm more likely to come back to you. And that's what you want. You want more touch points with your customer. So prioritize these inspection results so we can break them into small pieces, if necessary. And once we break them into small pieces, get those get those appointments pre-scheduled. This method of breaking it down and scheduling appointments is a budgeting tool for the customer. And if you talk to them about this enough, and get them in the habit that, hey, this is how we're going to approach this, then they're not going to have too high of a price. It's going to bring you more business. But the key is you have to be consistent. Every single vehicle gets an inspection. Every single inspection sheet gets broken down into pieces, whether you need to or not, and then you discuss that with the customer, so that you can keep them coming back and they can budget for the repairs. Make sure that you always review that inspection sheet though, even if it doesn't need anything. And I see a process break down here. Unfortunately, there's a lot of service advisors that they know it had 5,000 miles on it, 10,000 miles on it, 15,000, or it just came in recently and did a bunch of work, and now they're just back for an oil change, and they know it's good, and so they don't bother reviewing that inspection sheet with the customer. Take the time to review it. Remember what I said about sales and psychology? This is all psychology, folks. This is what it is. The time it takes you to review that sheet, even if it needs nothing, is worth it. Because at the very least what you're doing is you're telling the customer, hey, you're doing a fantastic job maintaining your vehicle. Look at this. You don't have anything that's wrong now or even coming up. Everything is green. That is awesome. Your cost of ownership is going to stay low. That's fantastic. You have that conversation with the customer the first time they come in, the second time they come in, the third time they come in, that fourth time they come in when they need something, maybe something went from green to yellow. All of a sudden, you've conditioned them that you take excellent care of your car, Mr. Smith. Look, we've got something here that's kind of headed south a little bit. They will want to go, get that yellow-green. Get that back over where it belongs. It belongs on the green side. Because I do a great job maintaining my automobile. Go ahead and do that. It's psychology. Ask any shop out there that manages their courtesy inspection system consistently. They will tell you that. All right? So get your customers used to it. Be consistent with it. Always, always, always review that courtesy inspection. It will be worth your time. I promise. Now, you've got a whole bunch of tools to handle the bigger challenge of, I just can't afford this. This price is too much. You've got to know what these tools are and know how to use them, right? And so break down your tools as part of step 2 here. Break down your tools into categories. That courtesy inspection is a huge tool. Your awesome selling skills are another big tool. Remember, you've got to see the big picture, right? You've got to see where's this customer's mind maybe at. Again, is it a problem with price or is it a problem with value, with education, with trust, with something else? Budgeting. Remember, see past that person that's standing in front of you. See the big picture. And never forget that first step of the buying process, they've got to recognize need. If they don't recognize need, they're not even in the process. So you combine those awesome selling skills with the inspection form, and you're going to have 95% of the sales taken care of, and the price won't be too much. And then you've got other tools like the credit program that can help when the price flat out is too much. But you've got to use the credit program. And I want to talk to you about the CarCare ONE Credit program now as part of your TechNet membership. It's been revised and renewed, and I got to tell you, I am hearing, and this is no lie, I am hearing shops tell me that they're having success with it. That it has been easier to get customers qualified. And once they had a few that got qualified, they went, wow, you know what, customers kind of like this. It does help them. They're offering it more, and they're having more success with it. So your TechNet manual will have all the information on this if I should happen to leave something out here. But I'll give you the basics here. I'll give you the generals. And you think about using this. Now, one of the reasons to use a credit program is to drive repeat business. Okay? The bigger picture for me is that we're helping our customers out. Yes, they may feel like I've got this credit card with your name on it, your shop name on it, and it belongs to that shop. So this is connected to that shop. If I need repairs, I can use this card at that shop. And that will help drive repeat business. But more importantly, in the bigger picture, this is about helping customers. You can offer your customers 6 and 12-month special financing, right? And it depends on the cost of the invoice here, what we're talking about, whether it's 6 or 12 months. If it's $199 or more, you can offer them 6 months. If it's $750 or more, you can offer them 12 months. This card is going to give you low processing costs. Look, it costs you something, right? Taking cards costs something. I feel the pain too on certain days. But it's a marketing tool, all right? So you can kind of chalk it up to marketing because you can put your store name on every single card. So they associate that card with you. There aren't any monthly fees associated with it. It's just the processing costs. And there are incentives to fill out the applications. You know, the more you fill out, the more money you'll get back. They'll throw you some gift cards and things like that, okay? So your processing costs aren't substantial here. You get your store name on it, and to me that's marketing. Because if I got your card with your name on it, carrying around in my pocket or my wallet or my purse, then that's marketing for you. Your customers can get qualified mostly because that purchase requirement is pretty low. And you can defer some of that interest, or they can defer some of that interest, I should say, They break that big bill, that invoice, into monthly statements, which helps them budget. It helps them, get the new transmission or the engine or whatever it may be, puts them back on the road, and they can break that cost up into 6 to 12 month increments. So they're not paying the big chunk all at once. They can also use it at gas stations if they're Exxon and Mobil. And for some customers, they like that. All of them may not, but some of them do. To enroll, you can call that 866-209-4457 number. Make sure you've got your federal tax ID ready, and they'll enroll you in the program. I'll give you another way of doing that in just a minute as well. Now, I find this really interesting, and I don't know entirely where these numbers come from. I kind of have to take them for what they are, because, Synchrony Bank put these out. But look at the chart here. They suggest that the average first purchase amount for the CarCare ONE card through TechNet is way, way, way higher than customers using bank cards or using cash. That first purchase, $680 if they're using the TechNet card versus $299 with a bank card. Well, I can kind of understand where the psychology might be. All right, if I'm going to pay you cash and I'm going to fork out $680 cash, that's a big hit. So I'm more likely to pay cash for the smaller bill, right? That makes sense. And then if I'm going to use my credit card that's 17% or 20% or 22% or 25% interest, I don't really want to put $3,000 on that. And so this program offers me another credit option where I can break down that car repair into easy monthly payments, and I may be more likely to spend some more. So I would, just on this number alone, I would consider using this program. You've got it, you might as well enroll, and you might as well use it. They've got credit promotions associated with the TechNet CarCare ONE card for your customers. You can offer your customers certain promotions, and they don't charge interest if it's paid in full within that 6 or 12 month period for certain promotions. So that's a huge incentive. You can basically offer interest-free financing. Well, shoot, a lot of customers will go for that, won't they? Okay? So again, it drives repeat business. The more visits you have, the more visits your customers show up and give you those touch points with, the more business you're going to drive. You're going to get higher customer loyalty. You're going to have higher customer retention, and you may even have higher average ticket sizes, which would be kind of cool, right? Your ARO going up, that would be pretty cool. So here's the other slide about how you can enroll. You can go to synchronicitybusiness.com and download the application to fill that out, okay? Or you can call Synchrony Financial at 855-886-5358 with your federal tax ID and the banking information, and they will hook you up right over the phone. Now, some of these deferred interest promotions, you can see the rules here, what you're going to be charged on these. So if it's non-promotional, minimum 25 days with a relatively, well, let's just say it's under $200 ticket, you're going to be charged 1.99% interest. Okay, 1.99% is going to be your cost. So basically 2% of whatever the invoice is. If it's a 6-month promotion or a 12-month promotion, then it's 2% and 5% respectively, okay, depending on the invoice amount. Your program comes with merchant support 24/7. You can call the 855 number and you'll have support 24/7, 365 days of the year. You've got some protection from in-store consumer fraud, and they'll train you on any aspect of the program that you feel you need training on. Just ask for it. Now, the credit approvals they suggest that they're customized for the automotive industry, and they are, and that's why we're seeing more customers approved. They kind of lowered the standards, if you will, so we can get more customers approved, especially for some of those smaller tickets. The big thing that shops are telling me, though, is that this money in your account in 48 hours is true. You get the money real quick. Within 2 days, you've got the money in your account. So you're not waiting a week, you're not waiting 2 weeks. It's easy. They'll give you the point of purchase marketing materials. That doesn't cost you anything. And the Meet the Sale technology will provide credit lines that you can close the sale. And it goes back to the first bullet point. The credit approvals are customized for the automotive industry. They're not basing this on consumer electronics or anything else. It's for your industry. So, again, consider it. All right, and again, no interest if it's paid in full within 6 or 12 months, depending on which purchase, $200 or more, $750 or more. Okay? Promote this with your customer. Help your customer understand how this is gonna help. Here's a picture of the card, and you can get your shop name put right on it. I would do this. Okay? I know that in the past, some of these programs have not been awesome. It's been hard to get customers to qualify. But I am not hearing that with this program. Most customers are being qualified in this program, and it's another tool that you have to help satisfy your customers, to help ease the anxiety of that big repair bill when the price is too high. You can read these benefits, right? Repeat sales, customer loyalty, all the stuff that we've already said. Try it though. Try it for yourself. See if your ticket sales do gain. See if your ARO goes up, or just track the ones that you're using, track the sales that you're only using the CarCare ONE program with, and see what those ticket averages are. All right? Because you don't have to believe me. I mean, if I'm you, I don't believe me, right? But go find out for yourself. You're not going to know until you try it. And even if you've had a negative experience in the past, try this program. They'll throw some money back at you too, all right? They'll even give you a prize. Now, there are different prize values for how many applications you put in. Generally, it's for every 5 applications, they'll give you a $25 gift card, rather. And so, just for enrolling in the program, they'll throw you a $100 Visa gift card. And then, once your people start trying to get customers signed up for this, going through the application process, they'll throw you $25 every 5 applications that you get in there. Right? If you're already a CarCare ONE merchant, but you're not enrolled in the TechNet program, so maybe you're new to TechNet, or you had a CarCare ONE affiliated program from something else, call Synchrony and get them to move your account to the TechNet pricing plan so that you get the TechNet rates. So if you've been a member of CarCare ONE in the past, call Synchrony and make sure that you are enrolled in the TechNet CarCare ONE program so that you get all these benefits and these rates. The card, again, it's just another tool. Use it. This slide shows you that if you read probably about halfway down the slide there, Synchrony Financial will send you a $25 gift card for every 5 applications that you generate or that you process. Get enrolled. Once you're enrolled, not only do you get the $25 for every 5 applications you process, but you can also take CarCare ONE cards regardless of where the customer opened the account. So if they have a CarCare ONE card affiliated with another organization, non-TechNet, you can take it. Let them know that. They may already have a line of credit and already have a card that they can use to pay for your repairs, the invoice you're offering up. So CarCare ONE you can accept from other organizations as well once you're enrolled in the program. Use your credit program as another tool. Remember, the first thing I want you to do is to work every day to keep those repair costs low so the price never gets too high. Secondly, I want you to use your courtesy inspection program. Break those repairs down. Break them into smaller pieces. So it's less anxiety for the customer. It's more manageable from a financial standpoint for the customer. And then when you get to the point where, hey, you know what, there's nothing more I can do. This price is too high. It is what it is. I can't break it down anymore. Use your credit program. Now, last but certainly not least, what I want to talk to you about is adapting to these unique circumstances. Because every customer is going to be different. Every customer has different things going on, and every day is going to be different, right? So think to yourself, if you're getting customers constantly, they're telling you the price is too high, they can't afford it, and this is happening 5 times a day, 10 times a day, day after day, week after week, you've got to ask yourself, and have this tough conversation internally in your organization. Are you serving the right customer? Are you targeting the right customer? Are you at the right price point? You can target any price point you want. You can target any market within any demographic that you want. But you've got to line up your marketing, you've got to line up your door rate, you've got to line up where you get your parts from with that target market. If you're trying to price everything for the luxury car market, but you're sitting in the middle of a lower middle income market, you don't have the right price point. You're not targeting the right customer. If you're targeting the luxury customer, but you're advertising discount car parts and low labor rates, that isn't going to speak to that market. You've got to line your prices up with your target market. Can you get $150 an hour for a labor rate in certain markets? Yeah, you can, and the customer won't blink. But in other markets, you take that $150 labor rate, they're going to go, "Well, what the heck? Can't do that." So make sure that you're targeting the right customer. If the price is too high too often, you've got to ask yourself these tough questions. The other thing I want you to think about is if the customer is always saying to you, "Too much, price too high, can't afford it." What are you saying? What's coming out of your mouth? Are you using the right words? Are you talking about what the outcome is if the customer were to purchase this? Are you talking about how their vehicle will be more reliable? How you'll keep them on the road for longer with less hassle, less inconvenience? Are you talking to them about safe operation? That yes, these tires may be $200 each, but they're gonna get you to camp where you really want to be, and they're gonna do so safely in the kind of weather that you run into during deer season. Are you talking to them about things that connect to them? Fuel economy is a big one, right? Fuel economy connects to all of us. Fuel economy connects to all of us. These are outcomes. You want to be describing the outcome if they spend the money. It goes back to need recognition and value proposition. What do I get if I spend the money? Maybe the price isn't too high, but maybe you're not talking about outcomes. And maybe you need to consider how that word track is going for you. What words do you use? Well, look, with a price-conscious customer, you can use words such as economy and fast and easy and affordable. But if you try to use those words with a luxury brand customer, they don't want to hear that. "You don't seem to understand. I didn't buy this car because it was cheap. I bought this car because I liked it." But a price-conscious customer, they don't want to hear anything about value. I take that back. It's not that they don't want to hear anything about value. It's that it doesn't resonate with them as much as getting a good deal resonates with them. The value-conscious consumer, maybe the higher-end consumer, if you will, they want to hear about expert repair. They want to hear about maximizing their value. The example that comes to mind is doing a water pump with a timing belt. Well, all right. So I understand that I need the timing belt because the manufacturer says so. But why do you want to do the water pump? It's not leaking or anything, is it? Well, sir, if we're in there, it's going to take 4 hours for us to actually do the timing belt. But 2 hours of that is getting in there. Once we're in there, the water pump, I can just tell you the water pump. I don't have to charge you any more than another half an hour labor to put the water pump on. But if that water pump goes bad, in our experience, they'll go bad in another 20,000 miles or so. That water pump goes bad. Now you've got to pay us to go back into the same place we just were. So for another $250, we can avoid all that, and you actually save 4 hours labor. Oh, well, okay, that sounds like a good deal. Think about the words you're using with certain customers. Because again, the price may not be too high. It may just be how you're describing the outcome of the repair, or how it's going to be done, or what benefit they're going to get from doing it. Remember, and I know I kind of beat on this a little bit, but that's okay. Remember, are you using your knowledge of the buying process? What was the buying process? Now, I didn't give you a slide this time, because by now you should start to remember it. Number one, we all go through this. Number one, we have to recognize need. The first step in the buying process is need recognition. Number 2, they look around for their options. They determine what their options are. They determine who can satisfy that need. Number 3, they want to drill down a little bit, and they want to understand what the alternatives are. Are there alternatives? Are there other options I haven't considered? Step 4 is they'll make a decision. And then 5, there's some sort of post-purchase behavior. Okay? But number 1 is that need determination. Now I want you to think about this for a second. People will spend money for the right priority. Alright? I come into your shop and you tell me, Greg, you got to spend $3,500. You need a timing chain tensioner. You know what? We're going to put the whole timing chain in while we're there. We've got a VVT actuator that's gone south because you haven't maintained the silly thing. And you know, it's going to be $3,500. What am I thinking? I'm thinking, oh, I got to spend $3,500 on this thing that it still runs. It makes a funny noise and the little light's on, but you know, thing still runs. It gets me where I'm going. Or what if I walk into a travel agency and I'd say, yeah, I want to go to Cancun next week, and they go $3,500. Where's my thought at now? $3,500? I could probably come up with that. Totally different mindset. You see, if people understand the priority, they'll spend the money. And so you've got to take them back to that need recognition and help them understand the need for spending the $3,500 on the timing chain and the tensioner and the VVT actuator and all that. You've got to help create value in that customer's mind. Remember your buying process, especially the need determination part. And then don't forget about your tools of leverage, I call them. In the service counter selling skills class, I take that back. In the exceptional customer handling skills class, when we do the little skits, when you do the scenario-based exercises, remember the broke college student, right? The broke college student had no money, and I need a tune-up, but I got no money. I got no money. I got no money. That's all he keeps saying. I got no money. I really can't do it. Well, okay, can we just do this? Can we just do that? See the bigger picture. In this case, you can leverage mom and dad. And you can suggest to them, is there a phone call I can make for you? Is there somebody I can send this estimate to that would help you explain, you know, what the vehicle needs, and maybe they can help you out with it? Because in that broke college student exercise, yeah, there's mom and dad behind the scenes. Junior there is off to college, and mom's probably pretty freaked out about that, and the last thing she wants is that car breaking down so that they're not safe anymore. And they might have to walk, and who knows what's going to happen if they walk. You can utilize that, right? And you folks in college towns, you do that. You know about this. So see the bigger picture and figure out, is there a piece of this bigger picture that you can leverage to make that price smaller and keep it from being too high? To get to where you can get all your customers paying for all those repairs without thinking the price is too high, you've got to focus on those daily interactions. Every single one. Remember the small transactions? Create the bigger business picture. Focus on your courtesy inspection process and break that repair down. Break it down into some constituent parts. Break it down into some manageable pieces. Make it budgetable for the customer. But more importantly, don't ever let the price get to the point where it's too high. Do everything you can every single day to keep the price low, even if it means increasing the number of repair visits, because that's a good thing. And look, if the price does get too high, use the credit program. Give the CarCare ONE program a shot, okay? Even if you've used it in the past and it didn't work out well, try the new program. It is revised. Your program costs are relatively low. You have access to it as a TechNet member. You might as well try it out again. What's it going to hurt? But you've got to get your people into the habit of offering it. All right? Get the point of sale materials so the customers can see it and ask about it themselves. And then talk to your people in the next shop meeting about offering the credit program. All you've got to do is ask. Ask for the sale, right? We talk about that all the time. Ask the customer if the credit program would help them. Can I explain it to you? It may help you. It may help you with this $4,500. It can be interest-free for 12 months. That'll get the customer's attention. So use it, try it. And then don't forget, every situation may be different. Every customer may have a different circumstance. And you've got to learn to adapt to those unique circumstances. You've got to learn to think in the big picture and figure out what you can leverage that's going on maybe in the background. Make these suggestions. Remember what that gentleman said in class? I suggested earlier. that he felt that his job as a service advisor was helping a customer afford the repair, helping them figure out what options they have to pay for that repair. Because some customers, they don't know. They don't see past what they have in their pocket today. They don't see past the fact that, you know what, I don't have a credit card, or my credit card's maxed out. They don't see past, this is going to hurt. And you have to offer them some solutions. So know your tools. Focus on daily interactions. Break the repair down using a courtesy inspection. Sell the credit program. Push the credit program. Use the credit program. It will help you. It will make you more money too. And then adapt to unique circumstances. You will have more sales. You will grow customer loyalty. And you'll have more fun selling. You really will. Because if you learn to utilize all these tools together, all of a sudden selling becomes fun. You'll hear yes more often. And you'll be making more money. I'll stick around for some questions, folks. Our next class is on Thursday, April 28th at 6 o'clock again, and it is titled 3 Secrets to Growing Car Count. So I hope you can join us for that. Until we meet again, keep up the great work and never stop learning.